story time, Zara. I am so tired, but I thought I would have some time to read another book to you. Today's book is called Bear's Story. Once upon a time, there was a bear whose favourite thing to do was read. But Bear had a problem. He had read his big book of stories so many times it was falling to pieces. And one day, a sudden gust of wind blew all the pages away. There was nothing else for it. Bear would have to make up his own story. He fetched a pencil and a notebook, then sat down to write. The stories in his book all had exciting beginnings, dramatic middles, and happy ever after endings. But Bear didn't know where to begin. The more he stared at the paper, the more it stared back at him. Maybe all ideas start with a good back scratch, he thought. So he set off to find the perfect tree. Bear was having a good old scratch when Mouse came twirling along the blossomy path. "Hello, Bear," she called. "I've got to practice my dancing for the mouse ball. Can you help?" So Bear got up on his tiptoes and he whirled and swirled with Mouse until they were both out of breath. "Thank you, Bear," said Mouse. "No problem," replied Bear. But Bear did have a bit of a problem. Even though he had a good back scratch, he could not think of a single idea for his story. Maybe all ideas start with a nice dip in the river, he thought. Bear was swimming about in the water when Rabbit appeared. "Help me, Bear," she called out. "I've dropped my oars." "Oh dear, what rotten luck." Bear grabbed the rope and pulled Rabbit's boat to the shore. "Thank you, Bear," said Rabbit. "No problem," replied Bear. But Bear did have a bit of a problem. Even though he had a swim and a back scratch, he still could not think of a single idea for a story. Maybe all good ideas start with tree climbing, he thought. Bear set off to find the tallest tree in the forest, and he began to climb. He had nearly reached the top when... "Help!" came a squeaky little voice. Baby Owl was stuck on a branch and couldn't get back to the nest. Bear gently picked him up and put him safely back with his brother and sister. "Thank you, Bear," squeaked Baby Owl. "No problem," replied Bear. But Bear did have a bit of a problem because he still had absolutely no ideas for his story. And now his tummy was rumbling. Time for a snack, he thought, and set off for home. When he was nice and full, he sat down again to write. The paper was still blank when some blossom floated in through the open window. That's when Bear suddenly remembered his adventures with Mouse and Rabbit and Baby Owl. Maybe all good ideas start with real adventures, he thought. Bear began to scribble and scribble. And he didn't stop scribbling until the sun went down and his story was finished. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Bear's new friends were standing on his doorstep with a big basket of berries. "Thank you for helping us, Bear," they said. "No," said Bear. "Thank you for giving me ideas for my story." "A story? Ooh, do it, do. Read it to us. Please, Bear, please." So that's what Bear did. Bear's Story by Bear. Once upon a time, a band of pirates set sail looking for treasure. The captain was Redbeard Rabbit. "Ah, shiver me timbers and avast me hearties," she roared. Mighty Mouse had the map. X marks the spot, she cried, dancing a little jig. The one-eyed owls were on lookout in the crow's nest. Land ahoy, they called. Barnacle Bear swam to the island, dug up the treasure chest and pulled it back to the ship. It was filled with goblets, coins and glittering jewels. Hurrah for the swashbuckling crew, they cheered, and they all lived happily ever after. What a good story. I'd rather say Bear was a professional myself. I like the beginning, said Mouse. And the middle, said Rabbit. And the happy ever after ending, squeaked the baby owls. They all agreed that it was a very good story. Let's have more adventures, they said. Then Bear can write more stories. And that's exactly what they did. Well, I chose Bear's story because Bear uses his imagination and he helps his friends, and his friends do something in return to him. Actually, they do two things for him. One, they bought him a big basket of berries. Two, they helped him get ideas for a story. But I think Bear really brainstormed, because it's not like you do something like really boring, like you're dancing and then you see someone doing it and you say like that's really boring, but when you come home you can also turn it like really exciting. For example, that dance was, for example, take you to a magical land full of stories. Well, that's my world. Bye for now.